From the KMNN studios, this is the Kids Morning News Network.
Good morning. It's January 12th, 2024. This is Alex coming to you from the KMNN newsroom. It's Friday. Have you ever had fruit stripe gum? It's the stuff with the colorful stripes depending on what flavor it is. It has a zebra on the package. A zebra named Yipes. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's been made since the 1960s, and I used to love it when I was a kid. Anyway, if you've never had it and you like gum, try to go get some, because pretty soon you won't be able to. Yes, the maker of Fruit Stripe says that pretty soon it will only be a memory. Seems like it wasn't selling enough. That's too bad. Man, I loved Fruit Stripe when I was a kid. I used to hold it in my hand until it got warm and soft. Somehow that made it taste better. Anyway, goodbye, Fruit Stripe. Goodbye, Yipes the Zebra. When was the last time you got a letter? Did you have to pay for it? Way back in the olden days, we're talking a couple hundred years ago, mail worked differently than it does now. There weren't any stamps. You sent your letter, and the person who got it had to pay for it. Weird, huh? And there was no way to know exactly how much it would cost. That changed all the time. And of course, this is before phones or computers or any other way to send messages. So you had letters flying around all the time. People needed them. So everyone needed the letters, but it was hard to send them. In 1840, a guy in England named Sir Rowland Hill had an idea. What if all the letters cost the same? And what if the person who sent it paid for it? And what if, to show it was paid for, you glued a piece of paper with a picture on it to the front of the envelope? A stamp. He convinced the government in England to go along with this crazy idea, and a 1-cent stamp called a penny black was born. The name came around because it cost a penny, and the picture of the Queen was in black ink. They came on sheets of paper, and you had to cut the stamps out yourself and glue it onto your envelope. They were a huge hit. Suddenly, everyone could send a letter, and in fact, someone sent one of these penny black letters 2 days before it was even officially on sale. Now we know that because that letter is still around, from 1840. It's the first known letter to be mailed with a stamp, ever. And so it's pretty valuable now. It's going up for sale next month at an auction, and you know how much they expect it to sell for? This empty little envelope with a 1-cent stamp? Between $1.5 and $2.5 million. Woohoo! Now, I'm not saying you should save every letter you get just in case it becomes worth $1 million, but I'm not saying not to either. All right, riddle time. Yesterday's riddle was, the more of me you take, the more you leave behind. What am I? It's footsteps. So for the Friday riddle, hopefully the trickiest one of the week, it's a leap year. We talked about that last week. So here's a special leap year riddle. Are you ready? How many months this year will have 28 days? How many months this leap year will have 28 days? Think you know? I'll give you the answer on Monday. 2 science stories this morning, one from Earth and one from space. Down here on Earth, the oldest known piece of fossilized skin has been identified. This was published yesterday in a magazine called Current Biology. Scientists in Canada say this fossil is, get this, 285 million years old. It was found by a collector in Oklahoma who donated it to science a few years ago. This little piece of fossilized skin is about the size of a fingernail. They think it probably came off a little tiny lizard-like creature that fell into a cave a long, long time ago. So that's the Earth story. Now here's something out of this world. A sample of asteroid dirt. It was dug out of a 4 billion year old asteroid about 4 years ago. They put this sample in a little rocket, brought it back to Earth last fall, but until now, no one has been able to study it. That's because the fasteners holding the asteroid dirt container got stuck. Yep, scientists couldn't open them. They've been working on it for months. They even made custom tools out of surgical steel. Finally, yesterday they got the fasteners open. Hey, if it was easy, everyone would be digging dirt out of asteroids. All right, on to the weather. A big storm. We've been talking about storms for days. This new one could start dumping snow on Chicago tonight and then crawl over the Northeast over the weekend. Really, the whole northern half of the country today could see some crazy weather. And in the south and southeast, snow up north, rain and wind, maybe tornadoes down south. Crazy out there for a lot of people, so be careful. All right, let's end the week with a poem, huh? In honor of the team that sent a rocket to an asteroid, caught up with the asteroid and landed on it, dug some dirt out of it, then blasted off, brought the dirt all the way back to Earth, only to find that the hard part was just beginning. Here is a poem called It Couldn't Be Done by Edgar Guest. Somebody said that it couldn't be done, but he with a chuckle replied that maybe it couldn't, but he would be one who wouldn't say so till he tried. So he buckled right in with a trace of a grin on his face. If he worried he hit it, he started to sing as he tackled the thing that couldn't be done. And he did it. Somebody scoffed, "Oh, you'll never do that. At least no one ever has done it." But he took off his coat and he took off his hat, and the first thing we knew, he'd begun it. With a lift of his chin and a bit of a grin, without any doubting or quit it, he started to sing as he tackled the thing that couldn't be done, and he did it. There are thousands to tell you it cannot be done. There are thousands to prophesy failure. There are thousands to point out to you one by one the dangers that wait to assail you. But just buckle in with a bit of a grin. Just take off your coat and go to it. Just start in to sing as you tackle the thing that cannot be done, and you'll do it. All right, that's it for this week. Have a great weekend. I'll be back Monday. From the KMNN Newsroom, this is Alex, signing off.